Hello everybody. In this lecture I would like to discuss about electric field intensity due to different configurations. So now see the different configurations which are going to discuss for electric field intensity or field due to infinite line charge. In this class I am going to discuss about three different configurations. That is field E bar due to infinite line charge. Next, the E bar due to circular ring, and next last one is E bar due to infinite sheet of charge. And first one is about line charge. There is a difference between first and third. This is the E bar due to infinite line charge, E bar due to infinite sheet of charge. Now let me start with the electric field due to infinite line charge. So before enter into this topic, we would like to understand the meaning of infinite line charge. So the meaning of infinite line charge is if the charge is distributed from minus infinity to plus infinity. Is it possible practically? No, we just have to imagine that my charge is uniformly distributed along the line from minus infinity to plus infinity. Practically it is not possible. We should imagine that. That's it only. If finite line charge means if the charge is uniformly distributed along the finite length of the line, that is called as finite length of conductor. Okay, now see, in this topic we would like to derive the expression for electric field intensity due to infinite line charge. Infinite line charge is nothing but it is a uniformly distributed charge from minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, now see, to derive this expression, let us consider a Cartesian coordinate system. Now see, here I have taken right-handed system. So on right-handed system, I have three axes which are mutually perpendicular to each other, like this. See, this is my x-axis, y-axis, and this z-axis. Okay. Now see, what I am doing here is I am placing my infinite line charge. On z-axis in such a way that half of the length is on positive z-axis and remaining half of the length is on negative z-axis, like this. See, I am placing. If you imagine that this is my infinite line charge. Infinite line charge means the charge should be on the line, or if your charge is uniformly distributed along the straight line, should imagine that. Okay, if I place my infinite line charges like this, such that half of the distance on the positive z-axis and remaining half of the distance on the negative z-axis, so that what will happen? See, first of all, I am drawing the infinite line charge on the z-axis like this. This is my infinite line charge. See, half of the distance. This is my negative z-axis. Place your infinite line charge in such a way that it is having half of the distance on positive z-axis and half of the distance on negative z-axis. It is from minus infinity to length of the charge is minus infinity to plus infinity. It should go like this up to infinity. The length of this charge is from minus infinity to plus infinity. And what is the charge is here? The charge is uniformly distributed like this. Okay. Now, according to the properties of electrical charges, what will happen whenever there is a static charge exists? Due to its properties, it produces its electric field lines. Okay. Now imagine that the electric field lines for this infinite line charge will be like this. So what are the properties of electric field lines? Electric field lines are this right one, like this. Imagine that the electric field lines are come like this. For each and every charge, electric field lines will be like this. will be there here depending upon the magnitude of the charge. Depending upon the magnitude of the charge, your electric field lines will be like this. And I am just representing my electric field lines with thin lines. Why? Because we have to calculate electric field or field intensity. Our intention is here we have to calculate electric field intensity at any point on the electric field line. So for simple calculations, I am taking my point on y-axis here. You can consider the point where you are calculating electric field intensity at any point. But for simple mathematics, simple calculation, simple integration, I am taking my point on the y-axis. So where is my point? This is my point. It is represented with P. Where you are, is it on the electric field line or not? So on electric field line only we have to calculate the electric field intensity. So that's why I consider my point here. This is point P. So now we will see the direction of electric field intensity at this point. Imagine that this point is having small r distance, just it is the distance from origin to point P only. It doesn't indicate any coordinate system axes. Just my r is here to indicate the distance between origin to point P only. And see in which direction this point is there. This point is there in, tell me, this point, consider it a r bar. It is as a r bar, the direction. Here there is a y-axis, or you can also consider it is a ay bar. Why? Because it is in the ay axis. And see, in the previous lecture I discussed about the electric field due to line charge. Okay, where we wrote the expression for electric field due to line charge. Okay, so suppose if it is a finite length, how can we write the expression for electric field intensity due to point charge? First of all, we will recall that the expression for electric field due to point charge, it is a q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into ar bar. Whereas for expression for electric field intensity, it is a line integration. Line integration of, this is the expression we already studied in the previous lecture, that is line integration of OL dl by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into ar bar. Is it or not? Okay, suppose, see here, which type of charge is considered here? Is it a finite length of conductor or infinite length of conductor? It is a infinite length, minus infinity to plus infinity. So in such cases, what we have to consider, what we have to do during the derivation part of electrical field intensity, we have to consider a small differential length. Instead of considering entire length, we have to consider a small differential length on the z-axis. This is my small differential length on z-axis. Small differential length. Okay, if the total length is, it is not a finite length. Okay, it is an infinite length. So for name it as a dl differential length. Okay, if the total charge on this infinite length of charge is capital Q, then how much amount of charge is there here? It is dq. Okay, and imagine that this in differential length is considered on z-axis, just z units from the origin, and it is in az direction. Okay, now see, now what we are doing here, we are calculating the electric field intensity at point P, which is on the y-axis. And where is your entire infinite line charge? It is a small z units from the origin. That means your charge is here now. So your charge is here, and due to this charge, your electric field lines are like this. This may be your electric field lines. These blue color lines are initially the field lines whenever we consider the entire length of infinite charge. But here we have considered only differential length. Due to this infinite length, my electrical field lines are like this. Okay, just draw the line between differential element to point P. Is it? This is my line between differential elemental length and point P. Okay. So now see, extend this line to here. This is the differential electric field intensity dE bar, and in the direction of y is dEy bar. Component is a component, and in the z direction is having dEz bar. Now see in which direction. So it is not possible to identify the direction of electric field intensity now itself only. After deriving the expression for electric field intensity only, we know the expression. We know the direction for electric field intensity. Just imagine that the component of electric field intensity in the y direction will be like this, in the z direction it will be like this, and the vector summation of these two fields will be like this. Imagine this. Now see, your differential length will be upward direction and your distance will be towards the y-axis like this. Now tell me, so what is the differential electric field intensity? Differential electric field intensity due to differential elemental length, which is already known. How we wrote the expression for differential electric field intensity due to differential length and differential charge? It is dq by is from q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square you here from this expression. So if it is a d, it should be d by 4 pi epsilon naught. And what is the distance between differential element and point P? It is considered. Please consider the distance between differential element and point P is let us name it position 1, and it is point P or position 2. So point P or is also called as position 2. So if it is a position, if it is a 2 and if it is 1, what is the distance between 1 and 2? It is r1 to bar. And which direction electric field intensity is there? Electric field intensity at point P due to this charge will be towards the point P. Okay. Now see the direction is represented by ar12 bar. Okay. Now see, this is the distance here, r12 bar whole square into direction is ar12 bar. Okay. Now see, we know the relation between rho L, dq and dl. From the relation between dl, rho L and dq, so what is the relation between those three components? It is dq is equals to rho L into dl. Now just substitute this dq value in this expression, so that you will get Te bar is equals to rho L dl by 4 pi epsilon naught magnitude of r12 square into a r12 bar. Okay. Now see, we don't know the distance between 1 and 2, and we don't know the directional vector or unit vector. Now we will try to calculate the distance between 1 and 2 and the unit vector, so that it is easy to substitute in this expression. Okay. Now see, see here how many vectors are there here? So vector A, vector B, and this is the resultant vector. Okay. So from the properties of vector, if you want to add any two vectors, the two vectors should be in the same direction. But unfortunately, we don't have the same directional vectors here. So one vector is like this and one vector is like this, but this is the resultant vector. So now see, to get this resultant vector, so one vector should be in the downward direction. So that's why I'm just reversing my z-axis direction. Why? Because if I reverse this direction, the two vectors in the same direction, so that the resultant vector will be added. So that's why what I am doing is I am changing the direction of z-axis with negative sign, minus z into az. Now we have to consider this value. Okay. Now see, r12 bar is equals to resultant vector. This is a resultant vector. It is vector A, vector A. So vector A plus vector A. What is the vector A? Vector A is z into az bar. What is vector B? It is r into ay bar. Right? Good. Now see. Now we know the distance vector. From this distance vector, calculate the magnitude. So here we need the magnitude. Magnitude of r12 bar is equals to under root of minus z whole square, like this. Magnitude will be calculated like this, plus r square. Okay. Now the direction is a r12 bar is equals to directional vector or unit vector. Is the ratio of r12 bar by magnitude of r12 bar. Okay, equals to, which is equals to, what is the r12 bar? It is minus z into az bar plus r into ay bar by under root of minus z whole square plus r square. This is your unit vector. Now here we have distance vector and we have unit vector here. Just substitute these two values in this expression. So now dE bar equals to, dE bar is equals to, what is dQ? dQ is equals to rho L into dL by 4 pi epsilon naught will be same. And what is the magnitude of R12? It is the under root of z square minus z whole square, because this z square plus r square and whole square. It is magnitude of r12 here, but in the formula we have square into, what is a r12 here? It is minus z into az bar plus r into ar bar, ar bar or ay bar? This ay bar by under root of z square plus r square. Okay. Now this square root cancel. Now dE bar is equals to rho L dL by 4 pi epsilon naught. See, the s square and root cancel here. We have a power 1 here and we have a power, root means 1 by 2. So now here bases are equal, so the power should be added. What are the powers here? 1 and 1 by 2. 1 plus 1 by 2. 1 plus 1 by 2 becomes 3 by 2. So z square plus r square whole power 3 by 2. So this part is completed. Now we left with this topic only, this term only, that is minus z into az bar plus r into ay bar. Okay. Now see, if you come to here, at this point P, we have a component along the positive z axis. Similarly, we have a component that is an electrical field component in the negative z axis only. Okay. So now the components which are having equal magnitude z axis and equal magnitude in the negative z axis. Equal magnitude along the positive z axis and also a component along the negative z axis. So due to this, z components will be cancel each other. So that's why I'm cancelling my z component here due to, note here, this note, due to equal magnitude of electric field along positive and negative z axis. The z components will be cancelled. Okay, now see, in my expression I am cancelling, I am making z component equals to 0, and see here there is a differential electric field, but you need only E bar. So how can you get E bar from dE bar? By making, by doing integration on both sides. So integrating the above equation, on both sides from limits minus infinity to plus infinity. Why? Because it is an infinite line charge now. So do the integration minus infinity to plus infinity, minus infinity to plus infinity. Okay, now it is your duty. Integration, doing the integration is your duty, it is not my duty. Will you do? I just give a suggestion here, I just give a hint here. So after integrating on both sides this equation, it will become the E bar is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity rho L dl by 4 pi epsilon naught under root of r square plus z square whole power 3 by 2. This is the component there here. It is r into a y bar. Okay. So how can you do the integration for this integrate by substitution method. Substituting z is equals to r tan theta in the above expression. So if you substitute z is equals to r tan theta, z square, what about the z square? Z square is equal to r square tan square theta, and limits. If z is equals to minus infinity, what about theta? Sorry. First of all, see, there is a differential length here, dl. There is a differential length here. So how can we replace the dl? So as my differential length is on which axis? Z axis. So that's the reason why I am replacing this dl with the dz as dl is equal to dz. Why? Because this differential length is where it is on the z axis. Okay. So now, here there is a dz, but here z. So what we will do here? We have to do the differentiation. To do the differentiation, dz is equals to, with respect to theta, dz is equal to r into, what about tan theta? Differentiation of tan theta is secant square theta d theta. Okay. Now, so if z is equals to minus infinity, substitute minus infinity here. So minus infinity by r is equals to minus infinity only, and tan theta, but theta is equals to tan inverse of minus infinity, that means minus pi by 2. And if z is equals to plus infinity, infinity is equals to tan theta, then theta is equals to plus pi by 2. Okay, limits. If z is equals to minus infinity, substitute theta is equals to minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2. Now substitute the z values in the above expression so that you will get E bar is equals to minus infinity to plus infinity. In place of minus infinity we have to substitute minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Okay, rho L in place of dz. In place of dz we need to substitute r secant square theta d theta, and we have one more r here. We have one more r here, that so that r into r becomes r square by is a 4 pi epsilon naught into r square z square. In place of z square have to substitute r square tan square theta, so plus r square tan square theta whole power 3 by 2 into what is there here is a by bar is here. Tell me. Next step. E bar is equals to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Rho L, numerator rho L, r square secant square theta d theta by 4 pi epsilon naught. Here there is a r square here, r square here. I am taking r square as common. After taking r square as a common, we have 1 plus tan square theta. So 1 plus tan square theta becomes secant square theta. So that means here r square secant square theta whole power a by 2 into a by bar. Now see, so this 2 and 2 cancel. See, from this formula, if you have a power a b whole power n, how can you write this expression? B power n, a power n. So like that, if square cancel and here square cancel, and there is a cube here, so that's why it is r cube after calculating secant cube theta. Okay, now I am again writing the expression here. E bar is equals to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Rho L r square secant square theta d theta by 4 pi epsilon naught r cube, there is a r cube here, and secant cube theta a by bar. Secant square theta, here square is cancelled, r square cancelled, 1 square cancelled. So what are the constants here? We are doing the integration with respect to theta. So that's why rho L 4 pi epsilon up to here there is a constant term, and we remaining 1 by secant theta. 1 by secant theta is equals to cos theta. Integration of cos is minus sin. A bar is equals to minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2. Sorry, we have a constant now, so that's why I'm taking rho L by 4 pi epsilon naught integration of minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2. 1 by secant is cos theta into d theta into a by bar. Okay. See, rho L by 4 pi epsilon naught integration of cos is pi minus pi by 2 plus pi by 2 is a by bar. After substituting upper limit and lower limit, expression becomes rho L by 4 pi epsilon sin pi by 2. How much? It is 1, and minus upper limit minus lower limit now. So sin pi by 2 is 1. Minus sin minus of pi by 2. Minus minus plus sin pi by 2 again 1 into a by bar. 2 1 ja 2 2 ja. If there is a or, we miss the or term here. So rho L by 2 pi epsilon naught or into a by bar is 2r. This is the expression for your electric field intensity due to infinite line charge. Rho L by 2 pi epsilon naught or into here. And what are the limits? Electric field intensity limits, volt per meter. Limits are very important, and this question is also very important. It is a repeated question in your JEE examinations. It's a very important question. So based on this question only, we will get different types of questions. You may get the direct question directly, or he may also ask this question indirectly, right? By using this title, electric field intensity due to infinite line charge, he may ask the electric field due to finite line charge also. He'll try. Okay. So now general expression. See, now your electric field intensity is in which direction now? It is in the y-axis direction, like this. Your electric field intensity is this direction. And why? Because see, where is my, in the center of this line, it is located at the origin. So here there is a charge. So due to two charges, the electric field direction is along the force. That's why electric field is in this direction. Now see the general expression for if it is in R and if it is A bar, the general expression for electric field intensity will be like this: rho L by 2 pi epsilon naught into A R bar. If you place this line charge in the spherical system in such a way that it is located at the center of the sphere, and the distance between center of the line charge to the surface of the sphere is r, and the direction is along the radius of the sphere, then the formula is valid. Volt per meter. Very important. Okay. Now with this we have completed electric field due to infinite line charge. Now see what is the next configuration which we have. The next configuration means electric field due to I don't want to derive the entire expression. I will just give the hint here. Electric field due to circular ring. Now see, to calculate the electric field due to circular ring, same initial explanation, just take a x comma y comma z axis, x y z axis, and imagine that you are circular ring on the xy plane. See, my z axis will be like this. This is x axis, sorry, y axis, and it is x axis, and my circular ring will be placed on this xy plane like this, See, have z axis and it is y axis, and this is x axis. Okay, so this is the xy plane. Okay, on this xy plane I am placing my ring, circular ring, on xy plane like this. Okay, this is the conductor, circular conductor or circular ring. Okay, now on this ring a charge is uniformly distributed along its line. Okay, now you need to calculate the electric field intensity on z axis and place your circular ring in such a way that the center of the circular ring should be at the origin of this Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, so see, listen carefully. I am drawing my circular ring here. This is my, what is this? This is my circular ring. Okay. This is z axis. and it is x-axis. Huh? Oh. This is your circular link which is on which axis? This is on the axis of xy plane. Okay. Like this. Okay. So now on this ring, your charge is uniformly distributed along the conductor of length will be like this. Okay, what is the total amount of charge? It is the capital Q, and if you think the length of this conductor or ring is L. Next, see, now whenever there exists a line charge, what will happen? It produces its electric field lines around it like this. Anyway, now what I want here, I want to calculate. Anyway, your electric field lines will be like this. I want to calculate the electric field intensity on z-axis at this point. This is the point P, where I want the electric field intensity. Now see, to get the electric field intensity at this point, just consider a small differential length dl, small differential length dl at this location. So if you consider that the cylindrical coordinate system, okay, consider the cylindrical coordinate system. On cylindrical coordinate system, this distance indicates what? This distance, that is the distance between origin to the surface. The surface, origin to the surface indicates what? Radius of the cylinder. Okay, so that's why. And here I am named it as small r. Okay, don't confuse. Okay, the distance between origin and differential length is r. Okay, and it is making an angle phi with respect to xz plane. So that's why this differential length will be equals to, can you tell me, as it is moving in the direction of phi with respect to r magnitude, so that's why it is equals to r into d phi. How I wrote this expression? This differential length is having a magnitude of r and is moving in the direction of phi. Okay, it is changing angle, so that's why I represent it with the d phi. Okay, now consider the distance between origin to point P is z in z-axis direction is z into az bar, and draw a line between point P and differential vector length. It will be like this. Okay, so now see, this r is in which direction? It is in the direction of ar bar, and this is z into az bar, and this upward. And now tell me, the electric field intensity at point P is due to this differential element, so that's why it should be upwards. We are calculating the electric field intensity at point P due to this one. That means the electric field intensity upwards, it's not downwards. We are not calculating the electric field intensity at this point. We are calculating at this point, so that's why the direction is upwards. Okay, now so if you consider the distance between, and imagine that the point is 1 and if it is 2, what is the distance between 1 and 2? It is r1 to bar, and direction is ar1 to bar. Now again use the same formula. You can use the same formula to calculate the electric field intensity. What is the differential electric field intensity? As here we have considered the differential element. Okay, it is a charge here, it is dq. So dE bar is equals to, differential electric field intensity is equals to dq by 4 pi epsilon naught magnitude of r12 square into a r12 bar. Okay, now this is equals to, what is dq? dq is the relation between, we we have a relation here, that is dq is equals to the previous explanation only, rho L into dl. I am just substituting here rho L into dl. And what about dl? In the next step I will write here 4 pi epsilon naught. And tell me what is r12 here, and I will write r12 here. It is the resultant vector and it is vector a, and vector b is in this direction. So that's why to add these two vectors, the vector should be in the same direction. So that's why I am changing this vector direction with minus. See, write the minus here. Why I am writing here? To add the two vectors, the vector should be in the same direction. Initially the direction will be like this only, but the vector should be in the same direction. So that's why I am changing the direction of this sign, so that r12 resultant vector is equal to minus r into ar plus z into az bar. What about magnitude? r12 bar is equals to under root of minus r into ar bar plus z into az bar whole square plus z square. And what about ar12? ar12 bar is equals to ratio minus r into ar bar plus z into az bar by under root of minus r whole square plus z square. Just substituting those values here. This is the magnitude of r1 square, r square plus z square whole power square minus r into ar1 ar plus z into az bar by ratio. Is it or not? Now see, in the previous explanation, similarly in the previous explanation, so see here there is a differential charge here. So for this differential charge, the electric field lines will be radially distributed like this. So that's why the radial components for this differential elements is having equal magnitude, and there is a positive and negative z direction. So that's why radial component will be equals to 0. Note the radial components. If you do the integration, you will get the 0 only. If you want, you can do it. The integration with respect to r component will be 0. Radial components having equal magnitude, both positive and negative direction. Okay, so the dE bar is equals to here rho L. What about dl? Is r into d phi bar, r into d phi, and here I have a z, so I will write with the z here, z into r, 4 pi epsilon naught, square root cancel, so 1 plus 1 by 2, 3 by 2, so r square plus z square whole power 3 by 2 into direction is az bar. Do the integration on both sides. You do the integration on both sides. Some limits with respect to phi. Phi is moving from 0 to 2 pi. So it is 0 to 2 pi, 0 to 2 pi, and E bar is equals to tell me what is the constant here? Rho L Z phi 4 pi epsilon naught r square plus z square, entire term. This is a constant. Why? Because there is no phi component in this integrand. So that's why I am taking common rho L or z by rho L or z by 4 pi epsilon naught r square plus z square whole power p by 2 integration 0 to 2 pi 1 with respect to d phi into az bar. What you will get here if you do the integration? E bar is equals to rho L R Z by 4 pi epsilon naught R square plus Z square whole power 3 by 2. Integration 1 with respect to phi is at phi 0 to 2 pi into az bar. After substituting upper limit and lower limit, it becomes 2 phi minus 0. So 2 phi 1s are 2 phi 2s are. Okay, so that's why your E bar is equals to electric field due to circular ring is equals to rho L R Z by 2 epsilon naught R square plus Z square whole power k by 2 into az bar volt per meter. Okay, this is the electric field due to circular ring. Similarly, we have one more configuration, that is electric field due to infinite sheet of charge. Infinite sheet of charge. Electric field due to infinite sheet of charge. Okay. Same to get the electric field due to infinite sheet of charge. Infinite sheet of charge is nothing but it is a sheet, it doesn't have a dimensionless length and breadth, dimensionless area. It is a infinite sheet of charge is nothing but it is a sheet of charge, it is not having dimensional area. That means it is having minus infinity to plus infinity length, minus infinity to plus infinity breadth. So now to derive the expression for electric field due to infinite sheet of charge, just see initial explanation is take a x comma y comma z axis. So on x y z axis just place your infinite sheet of charge on xy plane. Initial explanation is same as infinite. This is my infinite sheet. It is on which axis? I place this infinite sheet of charge on. I am placing this infinite sheet of charge on x comma y plane, and see your charge is uniformly distributed like this. Uniform distribution of charge will be like this. Positive charge. Okay. Now see, consider a small differential surface area on xy plane like this. This is my differential surface area. This ds and where the charge is dq. Okay. Now see where, and I require to calculate the electric field intensity on the z axis. So this is the initial explanation. I am just drawing the point between origin to differential surface area. Similarly, the distance between point 0 origin to point P, this one, and this is the resultant vector. And in which direction electric field is produced? It is in the direction of P. So it is R if it is 1 and it is 2, and it is R12 bar, and the direction is A R12 bar. If you understand the earlier two concepts, it is easy to understand. And where is your point P? is the z units z into az bar from the origin, and it is r into d r into ar bar. Now same, it is like the same explanation. So change the direction. Why? Because to get the resultant vector, the two vectors should be in the same direction. Now write the expression for electric field intensity, differential electric field intensity. It is dE bar is equals to dQ by 4 pi epsilon naught magnitude of R12 square into AR12 bar. Okay. So what is dQ here? Here dQ is rho s into ds. Why? Because there is a surface charge density here. So it is having the surface charge density of rho s. So dQ is equal to rho s into ds, where ds is the differential surface. So now see, this is the differential surface area, and this differential surface area is it perpendicular? Is it in the direction of z axis or x axis or y axis? It is in the direction of z axis. So this formula is already known when we derive the expression for differential elements in the cylindrical coordinate system. So differential surface area perpendicular to the xy plane or in the z axis, it is r into dr into d phi. Once you go to the topic of differential elements, this is from differential elements in cylindrical coordinate system. Okay, you get this relation in the differential elements of cylindrical coordinate system concept. Okay, now just substitute this ds here with the entire relation here, so that, and r1 to ar2 bar is initial explanation, and just directly writing the expression for dE bar is equals to dQ means rho s r ar d phi by what is here 4 pi epsilon naught, and what is r12 here is under root of r square plus z square 4 power 2 into r12 bar here is minus r into ar bar plus z into az bar by r square plus z square 4 power under root square root cancel. Okay, and again there is a component of ar bar, it is equals to 0. Okay, AD components will be equals to 0. So that's why, and do the integration in both sides with respect to surface. Why? Because there are two variables here, so double integration. Okay, E bar is equals to one integration with respect to r, one integration with respect to phi. Integration with respect to r is from 0 to infinity, as it is the infinite length of sheet, and phi limits are from 0 to 2 phi, and integration rho s r z, this one, by 4 pi epsilon naught, and what is the term here, r square plus z square 4 power 3 by 2 into dr d phi into az bar. Okay, you do the integration. This is also in the substitution method. Just consider r square plus z square is equal to u square. Okay, do like this. Okay, if you do the integration, okay, you will get I don't want to do the integration, entire integration. If you do the integration, if I do the integration here, we don't it is not possible to go ahead. So that's why I am writing the expression directly here. E bar is equals to rho s by 2 epsilon naught in AZ direction. This is the electric field intensity volt per meter. Okay. Or in general, see, note. I am writing here all the electric field intensities due to different configurations. The electric field intensity, first one, E bar due to infinite line charge. Infinite line charge is E bar is equals to rho s by what? 2 pi epsilon naught r into a r bar volt per meter. This is the summary of this class. Next, E bar due to circular ring. What is the circular ring? E bar is equals to rho s r z by 2 epsilon naught into r square plus z square into root of 3 by 2 into az bar volt per meter. Next, last one is E bar due to infinite sheet of charge. That is E bar is equals to rho s by 2 epsilon naught an bar volt per meter. So very important formulas. Okay. So in the next class, I would like to discuss about Gauss law. So thank you.